You are listening to the B.I.G. Show with your hosts, Calvin and Garland. The B.I.G. Show is a weekly breakdown of the sports world from a fan's perspective. Here are your hosts, Calvin and Garland.
It is the big show.
Big up, big up, big up.
And I know what you're thinking. Damn, they show got a little bigger. It got a little bit. You know what? Before we get to that, let me just go through some of the preliminaries. We are on YouTube live right now. We're on all the podcast platforms. And if you do have Spotify, you'll be able to see these three faces when I drop the pod, which will probably be tomorrow. Hey, first of all, let me just go ahead.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Let me just go ahead and introduce my guy that's always been there. Garland, what's going on, man?
What's going on, universe? You know, it's funny. We're always talking about there's this one listener that always has show critiques for us. And instead of just talking about his show critiques, we decided to have him on. So, Calvin, if you do the honors.
Hey, man, let me introduce the guy that's always telling us after every show. Basically, he tell us a lot of stuff, but it come out like this.
We're
First
trash.
Of all, y'all was wrong. I don't know what the fuck y'all be talking about. That shit was wrong.
Right.
That shit was wrong.
Garland, you always angry.
Hey, that's my man, Jay Walls. He's joining us. Hey, welcome to the pod, Jay. He is not a stranger to this. He's probably our number one listener. He was on last year. We did a Super Bowl special. So we invited our crew. Unfortunately, Jason and Brian couldn't be here, but we'll catch them the next time. But we did get Jay in here. Jay, what's going on, sir? How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. Glad to be able to, in person, tell y'all about all the stuff y'all be getting wrong.
Ain't nothing like in the middle of the week getting show notes. I'll be at work, all of a sudden my phone pop up like, Garland, why are you talking about that? You don't nobody care about that.
Like, what? And then he the de facto producer. He'd be like, at 5:03, I couldn't hear Garland for 45 seconds.
Hey. I'm glad y'all worked out all those bugs y'all had in the matrix there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So, exactly.
Good to be here, homies.
Well, we definitely want to talk about the Super Bowl, but we're gonna get into some other things also. Garland, I'm gonna just let you go on ahead and kick it off.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and jump into the Super Bowl. Super Bowl preview. The Patriots, they're aiming for their NFL record 7th Super Bowl title on the backs of one of the greatest turnarounds in NFL history. They went from 4-13 last season to 14-3 this season. Of course, with the playoff wins, they're going into the Super Bowl overall at 17-3. The largest year-over-year wins increase in NFL history, surpassing the 1998-99 Rams, who won the Super Bowl that year. And the Patriots, they faced the easiest schedule, or the second easiest schedule this season, but avoided a single blowout. And so, although they had a easy schedule, they avoided any blowouts. They didn't have any blowouts in terms of their 3 losses, and each of their 3 losses was by 7 points or fewer. And so, first question I want to throw out to you guys is, can the Patriots offense score on the Seahawks defense? You look at these playoffs, outside of the Houston game, which was really the C.J. Stroud turnover game, they only scored a small amount of points against the Chargers. They did get some good points against the Texans, which was really based on turnovers, but the Broncos held them to a touchdown. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, Jay, I'll let you go first since you the guest. Age before beauty.
Yeah, I am older. Can New England? It's crazy how, as they say, remember how you are what your records say you are. Their records say they're phenomenal, but they don't look phenomenal. If the Ravens were, as you say, including playoffs, 17-3, we'd be, talking about how dominant we are and things of that nature. But Drake May, he been stinking it up in the playoffs, and yet they've been winning. The The defense, like they played tough defenses in the playoffs, and he struggled. It's just that simple. And then this is when you really see, and really from both sides, the building of a team, a complete, you know, offense, defense, special teams, nothing great. Like, I don't know if any of y'all can name, like, 5 players. Y'all could, but on the teams, like, it's just a total team thing. But I don't think New
Sure.
England, I think they can put up, I think that offense can score either 14 or 17. Maybe they get a
Okay.
defensive touchdown because Richmond Common, they give you something. But I see May scrambling frantically and running one in, and then just a good play. They gonna make a play, so another touchdown. But can they beat them? I mean, can they score on them? Was your initial question? Um, not really. Not. I mean,
We're gonna see.
yeah,
We're gonna see.
not really.
Yeah, man.
We're
Let
gonna
me let
see.
me let me just say this. We always go into all these games saying things like, "Nah, this one can't do that. This one can't do that." They've made it to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Mike Vrabel has proven that he's actually a very good coach. I mean, now this is on the back of Jared Mayo. That's going to be another whole conversation we could talk about. But Drake May has gotten better through the seasons. He didn't have a great playoff, but he's gotten better through the season. They
He
do have a
stunk.
run game. They do have a run game. They do have Stephon Diggs, who's been playing pretty well throughout the playoffs. Actually, they're going to be able to score. I mean, Seattle's defense is very good, but it ain't the Chicago Bears in the '80s. It ain't the Ravens in the 2000s. It's very good, but the Patriots will be able to score. Now, the question is, are they going to score enough to win the game? I don't think they'll be able to do that, but they will be able to score.
I'll say this, Drake May, he was a turnover machine in the Texans game. He played okay in the Broncos game. The Chargers game, he was okay too. He's just can't turn it over. I think he's going to have to be able to, not fumble. He had a couple of fumbles in that Texan game. He did have an interception. I think he had an interception in the Broncos game. He had less than 100 yards passing. And so, I agree with you, Jay. I mean, he's going to be a factor with his legs. I think that they have to really, make plays when they can make the plays. I think they have a decent running game. I think he's a good quarterback, but they have not been an offensive juggernaut, and I think you're going to have to put up some points to win this game. I think you had to put up more than 17 to me. I think you're going to have to put up a good amount of points to get this game. And, right now he has not shown that he has that ability in the playoffs yet. But, now this is the game for it all. So we'll see how they game plan for this, what they do in terms of the run and pass game. I do understand the Broncos game turned into a blizzard in the third quarter. That hindered a lot of different things as well. And so, hopefully this, playing in Santa Clara, they're not forecasting any crazy weather. And so we'll see what happens in terms of his performance. But I do think they can score. I think they're going to have to score a lot to win this game. Now, let's talk about the Seahawks real quick. They're 16-3, and their 3 losses were by a combined 9 points. That's crazy. They only lost 3 games. In those 3 games, they only lost by a combined 9 points. Their worst margin of defeat was in week 1 against the 49ers, which was a 17-13 loss. The Seahawks, they had the third highest scoring offense in the regular season. Their passing game averaged 8.5 yards per attempt in their 19 games, including the postseason. And they hung a combined 72 points on the Niners and the Rams in the playoffs. And so their offense basically won them those 2 games in the playoffs. And so the big question, and everybody's been talking about this, and we start with you, Cal. Can Sam Darnold actually do this?
Yeah, man. So I've been hollering Sam Darnold going to Sam Darnold at some point, and he done made it to the Super Bowl. I would hate for him to Sam Darnold in the Super Bowl.
Super
I
Bowl.
mean, I would literally hate for that to happen. What he has on his side, and I think if you remember the loss of Zach Charbonnet in the last game, and then I'm sorry, two games ago in the playoffs, everybody was like, that's going to hurt him. But Kenneth Walker is a bell cow, and he was able to
He's been
take a
playing well.
whole lot of pressure off of Sam Darnold with that run game. Then
Right.
having Jackson Smith and Jigba is just, I mean, the boy is just crazy good. Between him and Puka, who's number one? I know if you've read anything today, they're talking about why Jamar Chase wasn't voted both, but whatever. Man, listen, I think Sam has the cast around him and the tools to just play within himself and not Sam Darnold like he's been doing the past few years.
Right.
Yeah. Jay, what do you think?
I,
Do you think Sam Darnold can do this?
yes. And I have like built in I don't want to call it hate, but I don't like Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold ain't done nothing to me either. But they was hyping him so much. My Sam Darnold bias is because of my Lamar bias. And it was when Sam Darnold was just failing, just out and out failing. They were still building in excuses for him that I felt like Lamar wouldn't get, because no matter how you look at it, Sam Darnold was still that prototype. What he about 6'3", 6'4", white boy.
Yeah,
Strong arm. That's what they want. So it was always that thing. Like, and he's stunk. He's been stinking his whole career. Ain't no getting around that, except last year and then this year. And it'd be cool to see Sam Darnold do his thing. Like, I felt like Calvin, Sam Darnold, but he hasn't. He even he stepped his game up.
Yeah.
Like that last game. Oh, y'all want to put up points? We can do this too. Because one thing Sam Darnold can do is throw that ball. Like, he can throw. And so I felt like the loss of the running back, I can't remember his name because
Charbonnet, Zach
right,
Charbonnet.
I don't do stats, so a name is a stat. Look, sometimes a name is a stat, but you know who I'm talking about.
The anti-stat guy.
Right.
That's gonna be your name on the show, anti-stat guy.
But I thought that would be a loss, but Sam Darnold, like I say, he stepped up. Let me backtrack real quick. Like, I think Drake May gonna be a hell of a quarterback. Today, he ain't. I don't care what MVP, because the MVP was, I don't want to jump ahead. He came in second. He had a decent year, but I think his team had a decent year. It ain't like he was spectacular. And he's a quarterback, so they got to find the quarterback. But whatchamacallit, Sam Darnold, like, yeah, he showed Seahawks. Yeah, he can do it. Whatever your question was, he can have it.
No, you answered it. I'll say this about Donald. I mean, I think it's, a lot of times, sometimes it's right time, right place.
Yeah.
And he played well last year. He played with a great team last year. He was doing the Justin Jefferson, and they had a great tight end in Hawkinson. They had a great run game. And so right system, right time. I think this is the same thing that happened in Seattle. Right system, right time. You had the offensive. Yeah, you had an offensive player of the year and Jackson Smith and Jigba. You had a good run game. You had a good offensive line. You had a great defense. And so you didn't have to go out there and win the game on your own. You didn't have to throw them 2 victories. But I think as the season went along and he developed more confidence, he was able to do that. And we saw that in the playoff games. And so I think he definitely can. I think, the defense is going to be pretty stout. And so let's talk about some Super Bowl predictions. First, let's talk about club level. I'm going to ask you this. Who wins and why?
I got the Seahawks winning 24-10. because they do have the better quarterback as of right now. They do have the better quarterback. I do think Mike McDonald's defense can definitely challenge and play much better than Mike Vrabel's offense. So yeah, 24-10, possibly 24-14, but 24-10 Seahawks.
Jay, who you got?
Seahawks. Because of their defense. Score? I like their defense. I'm near Calvin. I don't want to say 24, even though I think around that, like 24-14.
Okay.
Somewhere in that range, 27. I'll just say 27-14. Seahawks, the defense. I like that. Ooh. One of their defensive players, one of their best defensive players is hurt, I think. I don't know if he's out or not. Number 3. Because I remember going back and look in these number 3, and I was like, well, what was Russell Wilson number? Number 3. They gave that man number away and everything. Like, wasn't he great for them or something?
Just he was
he was good, but it wasn't worth retiring a number.
You don't know, it's not about retiring. Sometimes you just don't give it away so quickly. Ray Lewis number not retired. Because some people mean something. Lamar gone.
Ray Lewis is a Hall of Famer.
And then 2 years later, or 2 years later after Lamar, you see some receiver running around with number 8. You be like,
I'll say this:
they need to respect Russell Wilson a little more in Seattle.
Yeah,
Ray Lewis is a Hall of Famer. Russell Wilson is not a Hall of Famer.
Todd Heap isn't a Hall of Famer, but they didn't give his number away quickly.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about retiring a number, Garland. It's a difference.
I know. What I'm saying is
just turning the page on them.
Sometimes you don't instantly give that number away.
Yeah, why not? Why?
Because
I'm sorry. Why not?
You gotta respect what that man did for your team.
You completely ignored what I said about Lamar. Let Lamar leave. Lamar leave.
Did y'all forget
the next year? What?
Let me say this. Did y'all forget Russell Wilson's last 3 years?
I get it.
But he won a Super Bowl with them, took him to another one.
And he threw.
I was about to say, now if you want to say that he should have handed that ball off, and that's why we mad at him. All right, I'm gonna give you that. But
I'm not mad at him. I understand what y'all saying. It's the nostalgia thing. It's the same thing I think about in baseball. Sometimes I'll see somebody like, oh wow, they think gave so and so his number. You know, these are the old time players. They didn't retire the number. So I feel you. But what I'm saying is, to me, Russell Wilson was just a piece. It was really the Legion of Boom. That was that team. It wasn't really Russell.
The Legion of Boom didn't take off even until Russell. Nothing took off in Seattle until Russell.
And remember, Russell was a fourth-round pick that wasn't even supposed to be the starter.
Because they had signed one of them Hasselback dudes, I think. And he took his spot.
Y'all, he had beast mode. He had all these great receivers, and they had the Legion of Boom.
Did they call Marshawn Lynch beast mode in Buffalo?
Yeah, he was beast mode. Yeah,
he was always nice.
You know what? I forgot he was in Buffalo. You know what? I don't know if they called him beast mode in Buffalo.
I don't think they called him that in Buffalo.
I
don't think he got beast mode until that Saints game, that Saints playoff game.
Nothing jumped off until Russell Wilson.
I agree. Well, I'll never forget that Ravens game out there, and he faked out Ray Lewis and Jarrett Johnson, and made both of them tackle each other for that first down. That was a great game. They won that game, as a matter of fact.
And for those who like stats, he got some stats.
I like stats.
He got some stats. I like to just watch the game.
He also got Sierra. He also got Jay's favorite female artist, Sierra.
See, that's at the heart of Jay's argument. That's why he don't want his number given away, because he is Sierra.
No, they can't. I was just surprised with the number, and I'm not a Sierra fan.
Yo, we was coming from New York.
Oh my God, when we was coming from New York, Ray said you were singing all those Sierra songs.
Almost the whole ride that Sierra is not.
Right, you pulling up
It's
all
not
those
a good
Sierra
artist.
hits.
He's like, you don't know no Sierra song.
You
Name
should
one.
So I ain't go out for New Year's. We stayed in and we was watching some TV. I see Sierra on New Year's Eve performing in New York. I was like, why? Why?
Sierra's a talent, man. Sierra's a talent.
Sierra is
because she has games.
You're right, exactly.
she has
I can't.
You know,
they all have a talent.
All right, so
we good.
All right, I'm picking Seattle as well. It's cool. I'm picking Seattle as well. I'm gonna give it more points. I'm gonna say because we're really looking at a low total, but I'm gonna say Seattle 33-10. I think Seattle's going to put up some points. I think the defense is going to keep down the Patriots. I don't care about that. I think that Seattle is going to put up some points. I think Seattle's going to score. I think they're going to be able to run the ball. I think they're going to be able to throw the ball. And I think this is going to be a good game for the Seahawks offense. I think they're going to put up over 30 on them. Thank you, sir.
They need something for some excitement for the I was listening to something and they was talking about I was listening to Bomani Jones. I know you listened to him, Garland, and whoever the guy he had on there. He's from, as they say, the Bay Area, and they was just
Deontay Lee.
I never realized when they was like, do you know how vague that is? The Bay Area, like how big it is. Because they was like, where the stadium is, it's nowhere near San Francisco.
Right.
Like you completely, so I instantly thought of Garland when he always talk about Baltimore can't have this because this infrastructure and this and that and that and this or whatever. And they make it work when they want it to work. When they want it to work, well, they make it work.
I read something on social media. They said that a lot of people are saying they just need to leave it in New Orleans every year because New Orleans is actually the best place for it. Everything's there. It's walking distance. You got Bourbon Street. You got all of those other things there. They really say that New Orleans is the best place for the Super Bowl. Because a lot of these stadiums are now not in the center of their downtowns anymore. Right. I guess it's like, saying that the Super Bowl's in San Francisco is like when you're on vacation and somebody asks me where I'm from, and I say Baltimore. I say Baltimore City. I don't live in Baltimore City. I haven't lived in Baltimore City since I was maybe 25, 24 years old. But it's where people know the location is in Maryland, although I live north of Baltimore, and so when people be talking about the Baltimore metro area and all these other different things, I kind of understood what they were talking about in the podcast. But that's crazy that San Francisco is the most identifiable. That nobody know where Santa Clara is or anything like that. I mean, it's like saying the Giants play in New York. They don't play in New York. They play in Jersey. And so
but at least that's not far.
A lot of the reporters for the Super Bowl were pissed off because they had to catch a bus to do their media day. Because it was nowhere that wasn't even close to the stadium, so they were pissed. They said it was about an hour or so on ride each way. But hold on, Garland, how old are you?
59.
59, 24. That's 34 years, bro. You're not from Baltimore no more. You from, you from
that's true.
County.
I'm not.
Hey, you're not. Hey. I've
been in Hartford County longer than I've been in
bro. You're not from here no more. You ain't from here no more. You better not ever claim Baltimore.
I'm still from Baltimore.
Cap. I call Cap.
I'm real Baltimore. I went to a zone school. You guys went to citywide schools. Anyway,
take it easy.
Man, let's go through some Super Bowl.
To a zone school for 4 years out of his life.
For 2 years.
2 years.
For 2 years.
And he be claiming Northwestern.
I do. That's right. 2
just
years
like
out of my life.
Just like he claimed Baltimore City, and he ain't even from here.
Right. Man, Calvin, products of the Baltimore City
Yeah,
public
y'all
school
are products of the
system.
school system. I did go to Catholic school all the way up to the 11th grade, so y'all right. But
Let me say, can I say one more thing about the
I went
Super
to a
Bowl?
real city school.
I'm gonna say one more thing about the Super Bowl.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mike Grable. I be low key hating on him too. I put this in the conversation one time in the group text because yeah, they fired Mayo and brought in Vrabel, but he turned it around. Like that's one of them, like, you know how you be mad, fire the black man because he wanted to hire the white. Yeah, that was a good move too.
You ain't
Black
heard
man
nobody
had to go.
caping. You ain't heard nobody caping for Mayo this season. Because as soon as Vrabel started getting them wins, people was like, all right. Because when he got fired, everybody was looking at Kraft like, well, why would you hire him and only keep him 1 year?
Right.
Man, ain't nobody said nothing.
That's
about
one of them where
Mayo.
you be wanting to stand on like the principle, but like, let's find another battle somewhere.
True. Yeah, it was kind of like Gerard, who everybody kind of turned in. As a matter of fact, that turnaround got Mike Vrabel the Coach of the Year award last night. So yeah, correct.
Can't argue that.
No, let's do some quick Super Bowl prop bets. Who's going to win the? What's going to be the winning coin toss? Heads or tails?
I'm taking tails. Never fails.
Tails. You heads, Jay?
Heads.
Okay, cool. All right. Let's see. Who's going to win the toss? Patriots or the Seahawks?
Ooh, usually the team that scores first loses the game, so I'm taking Patriots. They're going to score on their first drive.
I'm gonna say Seattle. They're going to defer. And
Seattle gets it, and they defer. All right, fantastic.
They're going to win the toss. That's what you said. Who going to win?
Right, they're going to win the toss, and then they defer. I got you. What's the first offensive play going to be? A run or a pass?
Well, if it goes like we're saying that the Patriots going to get it, it's going to be a run to Ramondre Stevenson, rather.
Probably a run. Both teams job conserve run. I'll say run.
Okay. I think Cal, you already said that you think that the Patriots are going to score first.
I do. I think Patriots will score first.
Jay, you agree with that assessment, or you think the Seahawks will score first?
Field goal, Seahawks. Take the points like Denver didn't do.
Right. When I should have swept last week instead of split. And if we were looking at a Super Bowl MVP, who would you pick?
Quarterback.
Hey, man.
Quarterback.
Sam
No. Go ahead, Kyle.
Darnold going to shake off the Donald. Sam Darnold for MVP.
Wow.
The receiver. Okay. What's it, Jackson?
A receiver?
Jackson Smith.
I can't get the last name.
Njigba.
Yeah. Because they don't mind. Like, if he put up numbers, they will give it in the Super Bowl. They will for one game. But they be looking for the quarterback.
Right. Okay. All right. But fantastic.
I see him.
All right, man, let's run over some of the Ravens hires real quick. You know, the Ravens, they hired Anthony Weaver as their defensive coordinator. Weaver, who's 45, returns to Baltimore after being the Miami Dolphins defensive coordinator for the past 2 seasons. This marks the 3rd stint in Baltimore for Weaver, who was a defensive end for the Ravens from 2002 to 2005. And he was the Ravens defensive line coach from 2021 through 2023. In addition to that, they hired Declan Doyle as their new offensive coordinator. Doyle, who is 29, the same age as Lamar, becomes the youngest offensive play caller in the NFL. Doyle was an offensive coordinator for 1 season with the Chicago Bears, but the head coach, Ben Johnson, called the plays. And so what do you think about those 2 hires? Cal, you go first.
Yeah. With the exception of Anthony Weaver, let's start with Declan. Hey, man, he got as much offensive coordinator experience as I got, which is none. I don't know why they ain't hired me. Let's start there because He was an
offensive coordinator last year.
He didn't actually call the plays. That was Ben Johnson's plays. So he just showed
up on Sundays.
He
He
just
just
showed
showed
up
up
on
on
Sundays just
Sundays.
in case Ben Johnson got suspended. By all accounts, it's a great hire. Everybody's praising it, but we got you got to show it to me. I have no beef with either hire. I actually like the Anthony Weaver hire because he does know the Ravens way. So it does give you somebody familiar in the coaching staff for the defense instead of having all these new people that are just coming in. It gives you somebody familiar, somebody that the players can more than likely relate to on the defensive side. But I have no beef with any of it because it's one of those. If everybody else is praising it, I'm going to let it ride until you just can't praise it anymore. Until we see what actually happens.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Jay, what you think?
I like. I agree with Calvin's approach. My issue sometimes be we as sports people, we don't know as much as we be thinking we know. And a lot of times all we know is the names, the bigger names. And not even that the bigger names are good. Just it's a name we know. It's like politics almost. Um the offensive coordinator, the thing that worries me is the calling of plays, the sequence of plays, not having that experience. You can be under someone's tutelage in the grind of it, in the mix of it, but seeing the process. But when you haven't done the process, that was our issue with Orr initially, and um Donald's Mike McDonald, Seattle's coach. People forget he stunk when he first got here. He proved them wrong. Remember Rex Ryan? This guy don't know what he's doing. Why did he? Because Rex Ryan was just bitter. But I have to trust with the outsiders. I mean, like people that's in the know. From what I'm hearing, like we a nice coaching staff. Anthony Weaver, he knows that defensive line stuff, but he's defensive coordinator in name, but Mentor will be calling the defense, and both of them are on the sideline type guys. So now you have two of these guys on the sideline. So when things need to be corrected or whatever the case may be, they are there. They don't have to call down. They don't have to do that stuff. Um, Not the defensive, the guy that they hired out of the game for the defensive backs. They hired somebody else to
Guy for
be
Notre Dame.
no, not him. It's
Oh,
somebody else they hired to be the booth guy, the guy
okay.
up in the booth. Because they still, even though they like calling plays on the field or whatever, they still have somebody in the booth. But they seem to be kind of covering all their bases with the coaching staff. And I just kind of I feel like Calvin, I'm a trust in that. They say this person was under him, and and then you hear the guy from Notre Dame. Um, Teams were looking at him. Teams were, interested in him. So that's always good to hear that you hired somebody that other people wanted, opposed to some of the, coaching hires like him,
Sure.
like, but I'm with it. Anthony Weaver, I like that hire. The
Okay.
offense, I hope. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
I hope.
Yeah, I'm not as fatalistic about the offense as a lot of people are. Like, oh, he's never called plays. He's never called plays.
Mhm.
A lot of your offensive coordinators before they all became offensive coordinators did not call plays either. It's funny. I'm
Right.
looking at Ben Johnson right now before he became the Detroit offensive coordinator. He had not called plays on any level, and so it's all. I think it's all under the system that you are part of and who you are, being led by. I mean, I feel good because this guy was working for one of the leading offensive minds in football. Although he was not calling the plays on Sunday. It did not mean that he was not involved in game planning. It does not mean he was not involved in strategy. It does not mean he was not looking at game tape and all of those different things. And so I think we kind of discount those things in this situation. Maybe it's because he's so young, but I'm trusting that they're hiring someone that they think, hey, this guy sat at the feet of a person whose offenses over the last several years have been like a top five, no less than top 10 offense in the league. And so, I think that's good. And Weaver, I think that just brings stability. He's been with the organization as a player, as a coach. He's worked with Mentor before. I think, I like the way that they're building that staff. And it's really about the players that they get and can the players fit the system. And so I think the next step is what happens in free agency, what happens with the players that they're able to retain, and what happens with the draft. So we got some months to go to see how this is all going to shake out. But so far so good. Some people didn't want to see Cliff Kingsbury as the offensive coordinator. Some people didn't want to see certain people in that position. And so they went and they got somebody fresh and new. Some people wanted to see T. Martin retained as quarterback coach, but no, they went and got another young brother. And so I think, as you bring in new people, you got to bring in new energy, new focus, and start from there. So I like what they've done so far, and we'll see what happens with them as they progress through the season.
Can I interject? Can I interject?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm with you in regards to the play calling, like the game planning and all of that. You can be a savant in knowing all of that, but it's something about that first time calling plays. And when you're in a position of we have to win, like we don't, we not the Ravens, regardless of us not making the playoffs this last season or this season, we're still in position to win. Like our goal is to, we're not building. We past building. It has to click. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing I worry about, that knowing some of the sequence of, because it's a skill to that. Like, all of them intelligent. I feel.
Yeah, I think it's a skill to it, and I think it's a skill that you learn in game. Hey, we had Todd. My point is, we had Todd Monken last year, and he made some hard. He's a seasoned OC, and he made some horrible calls last year, and the year before that, and the year before that as OC, and so
he made some great calls too.
He made some great calls too, but what I'm saying is, it's not. I'm taking your example. It's not all full safe of, okay, he's young, he don't know.
No, I don't care about how old he is. I just want.
What I'm saying is, we had someone who was seasoned who was making terrible calls, and so I think that it balances out. Yeah.
So the thing that I look at is, we've tried it the normal way since Lamar has been there, which is getting guys that are play callers, but these guys are also set in their ways. So I see what you're saying, Garland, where, Todd has made some bad calls, and I don't know if they were bad calls or if it was just that he refused to change the way he was calling plays when it was obvious that this wasn't working. But in his mind, he was probably like, no, it's going to work. It's going to work. It's going to work. But now you got these guys in there now that have been sitting at the foot of some of these coordinators, and now they're there to say, I know what has worked. Maybe they're open to listening to say, well, let's bring some new things in here. So I get what Jay's saying too, because it's always a concern. I think I'm more concerned about the first few games, because that's going to say a lot. And if we think about Mike McDonald, those first few games on defense were rough. That's when, if you remember that Miami game, we were all not just looking at McDonald, we were looking at Kyle Hamilton like, was this the guy?
Well, he was out of place.
He was out of place. But that was all
before he got Hamilton. I mean, he was rough those couple years. They were losing a lot of comeback games, and we were like, and he was new on the job. But as he progressed, and I understand. I mean, I think, hey, that's why they play the games, and so this is why we're going to see it. We'll see what happens on the field.
I'm happy about it all.
We're benefiting from a second place schedule, third place schedule. We're benefiting from a schedule that's should be a little lighter, and the NFC
Yeah.
East, fuck
So we're
the
gonna say,
NFC East.
hey man, let's talk about something that Jay loves, and he ready to talk about it. Baseball. Let's talk about the
Woo!
O's.
Let's go
The,
O's.
the O's will report to Sarasota this spring with a new manager and a $155 million star. They also have a logjam at first base, questions in the bullpen and in the starting rotation, and an ace-size hole in the starting rotation, excuse me. And so first, let's talk about the signing of Pete Alonso. And so if you were under a rock and didn't know that, before the end of last year, the Orioles signed first baseman Pete Alonso to a $155 million deal. He's coming to Baltimore. He's a guy that plays 162 games. So this creates a little bit of logjam at first base with Colby Mayo and Ryan Mountcastle. And so I want to start with Jay. Which player do you think will start the season on the major league roster? Mountcastle or Mayo?
Roster Mountcastle, $7 million. He may be a $7 million bench player, but if anything, yeah, Mountcastle. But
Mountcastle.
it's a log jam because Basayo, he plays the first, Mountcastle, but Alonso, it's a log jam there as far as for that question.
I don't see him.
Mayo legitimately may not be on opening day roster.
Okay, Mountcastle. I don't know why they didn't trade Mountcastle like last year when they were trading everybody. At least get something, because if Colby Mayo is your future, what you going to? He's going to take the at bats for Mountcastle. Mayo was on your major league team pretty much from probably late spring through the end of the season. You would want Mayo up there. And to me, you're going to have to split his at bats with Mountcastle. And I don't see where it fits. I don't, I would have wished that they would have traded Mountcastle to get something, but I agree with you, Jay. I think Mountcastle does probably end up, because probably Mayo has some more options. They can send him down, start him there, and then bring him back up. Cal, what do you think?
Yeah, so let's just be clear. There's no log jam for who's going to play first base. The log jam is who's going to back up Pete Alonso. There's no log jam.
Well, that's what I mean. It's a log jam in terms of the backup.
Okay, in terms of the backup. So it has to be Mountcastle on the roster. I don't know how many more options he has going down. He's the veteran. He's the money. By all accounts, it's Basayo that's going to be the future for the Orioles first base if Alonso goes down. Alonso wants to play every day, and he can play every day. So it's going to be scarce work in first base anyway. Now, I personally think Basayo should be the one left. I think you should trade. Let me back up. You talked about trading Mountcastle. It always seems like you can do the easy thing, but who actually wants Mountcastle? The other teams see him too, just like we see him, and it's like, well, yeah, do we want to trade for him? Depending on what the Orioles are asking. Like, if they're not asking for no big league chew packs, you know what I mean? They may be asking for draft picks, and the other teams are like, I'm not giving you that. But I personally think if we got to let him go, you got to try to trade Mountcastle first, then Colby Mayo, because they've already signed Basayo. They want to keep him. They want him to be the future. Plus, he's tall with the powerful bat, so he's the prototypical first baseman that you would look as a backup for your starter.
But he's a catcher as well. Like
he'll be like a Matt Wieters. Eventually them knees are going to get to it. Plus, if you think about the Orioles, they always have a long line of catches. They keep
now last year. Remember, we lost all the catches. We were just signing people.
But it was a lot of them. But it was a lot of them they lost.
It's all in turn. It all depends on the philosophy they're gonna, attack this year with Basayo, because we say and Mountcastle wasn't good at it. Wasn't good at all, but he played outfield as well, like that left field.
He did.
And then sometimes you hold on to these people, like say now, because somebody has to want them. Like I say, we say all the time, well, just trade, just trade. Somebody got to want you,
I gotta want
and
him.
that type of stuff. And
Yeah.
maybe for when that mid-season trade deadline comes, I don't think he's here the whole year. How about that, Mountcastle? I don't
He
Hey,
think
might not make it
that.
through spring training.
yeah, we'll see.
But
All
we
right.
saying he hit
The
30 home
the
runs too.
yeah, the Framber Valdez tour is up. We all people were praying and crying for Framber Valdez since the end of the baseball season. Oh, they're targeting Framber, and Framber, a pitcher that the O's targeted all off season, has signed a 3-year, $115 million contract with the Detroit Tigers. His $38.3 million salary a year set a record for left-hand pitchers and for pitchers from Latin America. The deal includes a $20 million signing bonus. And so he's gone to Detroit. What up, though? Who do the Orioles need to, do they still need a starter in that rotation?
Yeah, so I've been hearing the names of Peralta now, and I forgot there's one other guy that they've been talking about. I think our frustration isn't necessarily that they lost Framber Valdez; it's the fact that now they're getting down to let's say just B plus pitches, and we still haven't signed one. When the organization came out and said that's what we need to do, concentrate on the pitching. So I think it's more of not losing Framber, but losing out on all of these guys, and now we're where we've always been, sitting back and waiting. Now who's available? Now who's available? So it's kind of frustrating, but as long as what they have now can stay healthy and stay consistent to what they did last season, they
Yeah,
should still be in the mix.
yeah.
You very hopeful. That starting pitching
Exactly.
was horrible last year. And
Well,
yeah, I mean, I think
because a
they
lot
got
of
a
them
lot
were
of
hurt.
holes.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them were hurt. I mean, Rogers, he pitched well in the second half of the season. You hopefully that carries
No,
over
he
to
pitched
this season.
excellent. He pitched
Yeah,
excellent.
that's what I said. He pitched very well in the second part of the season, and you hope that carries over to the second part of the season.
Jay said, "Get
I'm
that
not
man his
hating.
respect."
He did. I mean, he had a one
He
point
did.
something
He
ERA.
was their
Like,
best. Yeah, he was
he
their
was.
best
He
pitcher.
was okay.
And you got Haddish, who is back as well. You would hope that he holds up, but they've had a lot of injuries in the pitching staff.
That's the
You
problem.
got Zach Eflin, he's coming back, bad back injury. You have a couple other people that are coming off major injuries. You don't have the mountain there to close games, and so yeah,
They
this is a
signed it.
it's
They
a
signed the closer though. They signed the closer. I don't remember his name. I
They
don't do
signed the close. That
stats.
was one of the
That's what I
first.
told you.
That was
That's
one of
what
the
I said.
first free agent
Sometimes
signings.
names is stats, but they signed the
We forget
closer.
names
We
all the
signed
time.
it.
We forget
Yeah, it's
names
all
on
right. We
our
forget
own
Yeah,
names
team.
all the
right.
time. Yeah, it's
We
all right.
and then he ain't even played for us yet, so I definitely don't know his own. I mean his name. They signed another pitcher. I think Baez,
Yeah,
however
they
they
signed.
might
They
say that.
signed. They signed
Um,
two names. I think they've signed a total of like
and
4 or 5 pitches, but they signed two names
we
or kind of names.
I'm disappointed about Framber, um,
Hmm.
because yeah, he was targeted. He was
I
targeted.
said Haddish. I meant Bradish. Excuse me.
Right.
Go ahead.
He was targeted. Like that's who the O's were wanting, and that's who they were talking to, and word on the street in a sense. Like Detroit just came in and just offered that, and that's how it went. Sometimes you can. They say
30,
sometimes teams
31 million
give
a
you
season is a
38,
lot.
38.
That's a lot of money.
Right.
Like
They say sometimes they offer like, hey, here's this. You can take it now. Not you don't get a chance to go back and have somebody
Hmm.
else match it. So now you sitting there as a player, 38, 3 years. All right, like, but it was disappointing. It was very disappointing. And I don't like to think like that they didn't try. Like I don't like when people always say like they didn't try to do this, they could have did. Like sometimes we don't, and sometimes money, sometimes with all players, it's not just the highest amount. Like it's so much stuff because he got it's some deferred money in there too. Like what kind of crap? Let's talk about that one day.
He got
All
$20
that
million
deferred stuff
signing
and the
bonus.
signing, like it just
He's matched up with Scooble, so he doesn't have to be the number one. So it's a lot going on.
And Scooble just got some big money. Yeah, he just got some big money. Yeah, but he got it in arbitration. He just won arbitration. So he's got 32 million. Well, he got it though. He got 32 million. And so that's good.
But see, when he got it, but like they didn't give it to him.
Yeah, what I'm saying, he still got it though. They didn't want to give it to him, but they got to give it to him.
But with that show, like you don't want to give me my money, but then you want to come in and get this man. Like that be bringing in a little animosity.
Scooble going to be a free agent next season,
right? So
or they might trade him this season, depending on what the offer is.
Yeah, he's getting 32 this year. So I mean,
they're not going to pay both of them.
All right, so let's get a prediction over or under 30 games, Cal.
Over under 30 games.
What? So over or under 80 game win season.
80. I thought you said 30.
You said 30.
I thought you said 30.
I did say 30. I apologize. Over 80 or under 80?
Over 80. Easily over 80 this season.
You think in the 90 range?
I'm thinking in the 100 range.
Okay. I'm gonna let you tell it. All right, Jay.
I ain't going that far, but
over 80, under 80.
We know they play 162 games, right?
I know this.
Just thought I'd remind
you. I'm aware that they play 162 games.
We signed another outfielder as well. Like we got some bats
and a utility.
One thing we have is bats. So when your pitching isn't like what you want it to be, like we got a lot of good pitches. I don't know if Bradish has the potential to be great. Rogers pitched great last year. Let's hope this year he pitched well, like Garland said, man, we over 80. We over.
I mean, they won 75 games last year. I just want to remind y'all.
Yeah,
as Calvin said, I don't know.
Why not 81? 81 is 500. 81 is 500.
Okay.
We got about 86, 87 minutes at least. At least.
All right. Yeah, you know what? I agree with you, Jay. I mean, they got some bats. I'm still concerned about the pitching. The starting pitching, that's going to determine a lot. I would say, anywhere between 80 to 85 games right now.
What?
I think Toronto's Toronto's gotten better. They got 4 frontline starting pitchers. They're paying a lot of money for it. The Yankees are still good. Boston got better. They went out and got pitching. Okay, so I'm thinking.
Toronto lost
in the 80 to 85. Yeah, but he didn't play half the season. Bichette, he didn't play half the season.
He still put up 90 something ribbies, and he played a lot.
Yeah, he played, but he didn't play any. He only played the World Series. He didn't play any of the playoffs.
See, now you're saying, all right, well, he ain't played the postseason, but he helped get him there. I don't know if they stronger, but.
I mean, they won the division last year, 94 games. You saying they're gonna win less than 94 games? I am positive.
You're not
about the Orioles.
You're never positive about the Orioles.
80 to 85 games.
You are never positive about the Orioles. Never.
Y'all too overly optimistic. Y'all overly optimistic about the Orioles. 100 games. Come on, Calvin.
Bro. You're never positive about the Orioles. You're never positive.
100 games.
100 games. We have.
I like to keep receipts. What's today's date?
Keep them. Write them down.
What's today's date?
Keep them. Come on, bro. 100 games.
When they did it the other year, we weren't expecting it.
I told Garland the other year they was going to do it.
They had Corbin Burns and the pitching was good. That's before everybody started falling apart.
Was that year? I think that was the year.
That was that.
Yes, that was the year.
Year before last. Yeah, that was that year.
Dang. So we got 100 wins because of Corbin Burns. Take it easy.
He was the star of the team. He was
the
the
top
star of the
rotation guy, but we ain't
Yeah,
win
he
100
was.
because of him. But
Yeah,
it's
well,
all good.
You want a good amount.
Man, we running up on time because both of
Yeah.
these party animals got parties to go to
Yeah,
tonight.
man. So
I'm
let's go ahead and close it down.
Eating spaghetti. Hey, Jay, thank you for joining us, man. Real quick,
Thank you,
you wanna talk
Thank
about
you
your
for
business? You wanna get some
Nope.
advertising in?
Nope.
Please, come on, Jay. Keep going,
Nah,
man.
I'm trying to work some things. I just got 3 NBA contracts. Gaithersburg, Beltsville, Silver Springs. So I'm happy about that. So maybe I can, buy some snacks at the Orioles game. But
Buy a cup. Can you buy me a cup next year?
And if y'all don't know,
Right.
Jay does landscaping.
Yeah,
I'm glad he got those contracts, but I'm mad about it because you heard where they going. That means a little man like me who can't sign no contract, he ain't gonna take care of my shit no more.
Look,
He ain't doing no little lawns no more. He got bigger. He got facilities.
No, let me say this.
Lawns.
I had that before. And I always cut houses because when them contracts get funky, them houses are always there.
So, always there. That's
I ain't never. I come on, man. I come from a different world. You can't forget about
man.
Just
he ain't doing road houses no more.
I'm just picking on him. Jay always come through for us. When he can't come through, the man just gave us a lawnmower and said, "Here, y'all can just have this."
No more row houses.
Hey, we all live
not in the middle of the block. I did do that. I'll cut a row house, but not in the middle of the block. I'm not packing up, going around. I'm not doing it.
Right. You ain't unloading the truck for the row house in the middle of the block.
No,
only in rows.
Yup, I can get
He'll cut your in row, but he ain't cut.
Or you gotta end the group in the middle of there or something.
Right.
Yeah. Other than that, all that going around. Man, I can't.
Hey man, we are live on YouTube. I will drop this pod tomorrow, so you will be able to see us on all the podcast platforms. If you have Spotify, you can see all 3 of our old ass mugs with the grays going on. Hey, we'd like to thank you all for joining us. Jay, thanks for coming through, man.
Thanks, Jay.
Y'all my favorite podcast.
Jason, we're gonna have to get y'all on here again. Let me hit this music. Right. Brian and Jason, these niggas, they just be Brian and Jason.
I got a bowl.
Jason light skin ass. Light skin.
You have been listening to the B.I.G. Show.
The
show was produced and written by Calvin Coates and Garland Thomas for All Things Black Production. Follow us on all of your podcast media platforms.
I always say my grandkids older than this kid.
Hey, holla at y'all later. Everybody be safe.
Be safe.